This is Christopher Judge. You may know me best as Teal'c, and you are listening to Bad Nerds. Indeed.
Welcome to Stargate SG-1 for the first time. Still not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Aiken, and I'm watching Stargate SG-1 for the first time.
And I'm Brent Allen, and I'm watching Stargate SG-1 for the 47th time. But for the first time, I am watching Stargate for the messages that are contained within. What is it trying to tell us? You know, those things that sci-fi does really well, like holding up a mirror to society, giving us hope that things can be better in the future, or maybe just telling us how we can be better human beings right now.
To be a better human being, Brent, I believe, takes a measure of power. And in today's episode, we're going to explore absolute power. And I think through my prediction that that's going to be we're going to meet a new system lord, and they're going to be kind of picking up the remnant forces of Har'ur and the other system lords that have gone the way of whatever the Egyptian dodo is called. And they're going to be seeking some absolute power and maybe even going after Apophis. We shall see. Brent, do you have any cool details on this one?
I sure do. It's just this, though. This is the 17th episode of the fourth season. Original air date for our friends over in Sky One. They got it first, January 10th of the year 2001. Is that correct? Hold on.
It seems so. It was January 3rd was last week.
Yeah, hold on. January 10th of 2001. Okay. For some reason, I thought we would be like in 2002 by now. Whatever.
Yeah, no, we
doesn't matter. This episode written by Robert C. Cooper. There's a name that you should be very familiar with at this point. Directed by Peter DeLuise. So we will look for his cameo and completely miss it.
Absolutely.
And with that, Jeff, it's time to go watch this episode. I have nothing else for you.
All right.
Other than that, there really is nothing else that deals with this outside of stuff that would be spoiler territory. So if you guys are just joining us for the very first time, welcome. Every episode is somebody's first time. What's going to happen is, and the way this works, Jeff and I are going to watch this episode together right now. If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, stick around because you're going to catch the reaction to this video. And afterwards, we're going to talk some stuff. But if you want the full unedited version of this reaction, head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/badnerds.
And if you're one of our incredible podcast app listeners, we're about to gate into the future. We'll be there waiting to meet you on the other side. I'll share my first time reaction. Brent will share the sci-fi messages that he pulls down out of this one. So Brent, let's do this. It's time for absolute power.
7 locked.
Said Daniel.
Anybody else just hear that?
It's Sha'Ray.
So.
What? Look.
Now that's impressive.
Right?
Jack's like,
Hey,
now I'm a believer.
Pillar of fire, pillar of smoke, man.
Uh-huh. Pillar
of sand.
Daniel, try to keep it Kansas, huh?
I was just,
I'm Daniel. Who's calling?
This is a spendy episode.
That's a pretty cool effect for a TV show.
On
Welcome to
location.
Showtime. Yeah, that's Showtime money right there, man.
Is that the Dalai Lama?
Bad nerds.
Is that his kid? No. He's like 12. 100% that was Sha'Ray's voice.
I am Harsisus.
Shifu. Wow.
Shifu.
I gotta tell you, I totally forgot about this kid.
Absolutely you did.
Yeah.
This is the thing I love about Stargate, Jeff, is you never know when they're going to reach back and pull something out of a previous episode. And it could be seasons later before you ever even talk about it again. And there it is. And then there's other things that, frankly, you continue to wait for. Like, we are not told everything that happens in these folks' lives. Like,
right. Yeah.
You know, Teal'c could be visiting them on a regular basis. We just never hear about it. And that's
not story worthy.
And that would totally be fair within their world. So,
yeah.
Anyway, here we go. Harsisus. But you're right. He's a lot older than he should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like substantially. He should be, what, a year old?
He is the Harsisus.
How is that possible?
I'm not sure. He says he grew like the weeds.
Apophis sired the child to be his next host. It is possible he used Goa'uld technology to manipulate the boy's body to mature quickly.
That's possible.
I appreciate how he said the word mature.
Does he speak of the knowledge passed on to him by Amunet and Apophis?
He says Oma taught him to forget.
Oma?
The
the lady.
alien we encountered on Camp Mother Nature.
Camp Mother
That
Nature.
explains the tornado.
Shifu says he came to Abydos to learn more about his mother.
And to find a panda.
His name, it means light.
I think we should have Dr. Fraser
To
take
find a
look at it.
panda. I got that
He's been altered
reference.
to grow quickly. It could still be happening.
You think it's wise to bring him back?
I don't think he's a danger.
What about his stepmom? Is she coming along?
He says that ultimately a man travels his chosen path alone.
Smart kid? Get a message to Ham and let him know who we're bringing.
Give them a heads up so they don't shoot. It feels like they should actually have to call back for permission to bring him back.
Right. Instead, he's just like,
This is
tell him who is
Ham.
coming.
He's the leader of this facility.
Welcome to Earth.
A spark lights a flame, but the candle will only burn as long as the wick.
Also, water is wet. Thanks, kid. Let's get you over to the infirmary.
If I may, sir, I think what he means is the wick is the center of the candle. And ostensibly a great leader like yourself is essential to the whole ball of wax. Basically what it means is that it's always better to have a big, long wick. Right? Don't look at me.
Oh, man.
It's right, though, right?
Hammond's just like,
Robert C. Cooper's like, I got a great joke for this one. I'm going to have to take a long walk to get there, but we're going to do it.
I am going to take a little bit of your blood with that needle.
Will you return it to me when you are done?
No, that's a good question.
I'm afraid I can't. You see, I have to do some tests on it, and then it just won't be very good after that.
but your body will
Leaves
make
fall
more. It's
from
fine.
the tree once a year. The tree still grows strong and proud.
I think that means okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You know, that reference wouldn't work on people who live in Florida.
I found traces
No.
of the same nanotechnology
Like,
that
what do you mean they fall? What are you
prematurely
talking
aged
about?
Colonel O'Neill. Now, I've had them analyzed by some of the foremost experts in the field, and they say that they appear to be inactive.
So they shut themselves off?
I think I might have been talking over what she just said here, Jeff. The same nanites that made Colonel O'Neill age back in that episode, Brief Candle, those are the same things that are in him, making him age. But now
they're
people
inactive.
have said the little bots have shut themselves off, so he should be fine from now on.
Yeah. Just a nice way to fast forward him a little bit to a...
You know what? I love the fact that they addressed it. How often have you and I watched an episode of any kind of sci-fi and we're like, all you need to do is put in a line.
Right?
Like, just give me a line. I'm with you at that point, and then we can go. Just give me something. Acknowledge it. You know, don't treat me as dumb.
Yeah. Say the thing. And now we can move on and tell the story that's important.
Hang a lantern on it. Boop. Here we go.
So the kid should know everything Apophis knew when he
Fathered the boy.
Well
There
said.
you go.
Well put.
That's
there.
the way to say it.
That must be an awfully big burden for a young child to carry.
No,
That is
the
why all
empathy of
Goa'uld
that.
are born evil. It also explains why a benevolent being like Oma Tasala would help the boy to bury those memories in his subconscious so he could lead a normal life.
I don't think he's leading a normal life. That man's traveling in sandstorms.
We have a treaty with them, Colonel. Specifically mentioned is the full exchange of all potential sources of information pertaining to the Goa'uld.
They say they can use the memory recall device to extract information from Shifu without harming him physically.
Yeah, but what about mentally?
What about emotionally?
Yeah, there you go, Daniel.
Look at us in 2001.
Right?
We'd be flooding his mind with the thoughts of 1,000 Hitlers, one of whom happened to put a snake in the head of his mother. Look, I realize we're talking about protecting Earth and potentially eliminating the Goa'uld entirely, but
It seems to me the boy is fairly wise, well beyond his years, in fact. Isn't it possible he might comprehend the situation if you explained it to him?
It's possible.
I guess so, but I doubt he'd be willing to remember. And even
don't
if
know.
he is, how can we ask him to?
Well, if he forgot once.
Here's a question. The kid's maybe 12 years old. Mm-hmm. Right?
Physically, yeah.
Is a 12-year-old capable of actually like having the self-knowledge of saying, yes, I'm okay to do this. Yes, I'm okay for you to take the step and drop all this stuff in my memory again.
I'm comfortable with that.
I can handle it as a 12-year-old. Like,
I just had a bunch of nanites running through me, and now I have every hormone imaginable raging through my body. Yeah, let me make this call.
Somehow I don't feel like this kid has those hormones raging through his body yet.
Yeah, that's fair. He's too wise for that.
Or Oma Dasala has him on some pretty cool stuff, man.
Right.
To chill him out.
She's just saltpeter in that milk all the time. Just
man, I tell you what, if that is the case, I wish you would let me know what it is, because I got a 12-year-old running around here at the house right now that I would love to chill out.
Saltpeter is the answer for real.
I like saying, well, maybe he could forget again.
Yeah.
He'll remember, forget. Whenever we need it. It's a filing cabinet.
Yeah, I don't see what's complicated about this.
We should mark this to discuss this, though. Think of how they're talking about using this kid, though.
Yeah, like, it's a store of information.
Daniel is the only one who is considering him as a human being. Everybody else is considering him as an encyclopedia, as just a thing to use right now. And I think that's way oversimplifying it. If this was a real conversation, we were to ask, like, is this really how you think about it? No, that's not what I mean, but they've got to look at this side of it. And anyway.
Yeah.
You could forget again.
Uma teaches the true nature of a man is decided in the battle between his conscious mind and the desires of his subconscious.
Wow.
Uma teaches the evil in my subconscious is too strong to resist. The only way to win is to deny it battle.
Yeah. See, the thing is, we can't deny the battle against the Goa'uld forever. The information contained within your buried memories could really help us.
You have chosen a path that leads to me because of this.
Yes.
You must release your burden before you will find your own way again.
Yeah, someone else once said that to me. The thing is, this is my way. I chose this path to honor Shari's strength. And ultimately, it isn't just about me, or you for that matter.
About all the Tauri.
Understand.
The Tok'ra have a way to help you remember only certain things. Oma can help you forget again.
If the instrument is broken, the music will be sour.
The music does not play the musician.
Ooh.
Normally, there's truth in that.
Really? Good. Because I really didn't have any idea what I was talking about.
He's like, I don't need a hand-wavy device. I can just do it. Oh! For real!
Dude, look at those eyes, man.
Yeah.
Is that a Daniel death?
I don't know if this is Dr. Fraser doing that. No, he didn't die.
What happened?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
You got knocked out.
You were talking to the boy and then you suddenly collapsed.
Transfer the memories?
I asked him for something. Anything that could help us fight the Goa'uld.
Hand waved me without a device.
Yeah. And I think he gave it to me.
And he's almost like the Bene Gesserit doing the awakening.
These are the
having all the
long-range
memories.
sensors.
It's a lot of information.
Strange things just keep flooding into my mind. Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, just that this is unbelievable.
He's like, I have a strong desire to be worshipped right now. I just don't know.
Well, I guess you could call it a satellite, sir. Its weapon systems could penetrate Goa'uld shield technology and destroy motherships.
Makes some cool shadows, though. It really
Basically,
does.
sir, it's the basis of the perfect anti-Goa'uld defense system.
Of course,
Hammond has a good shadow
network
face.
of them and launch them into orbit.
Can we do that?
Well, sir, this is an entirely new kind of technology. We'd need to bring in outside help. A lot of it.
But ultimately, it means we don't have to involve the Tok'ra.
Why not?
At the moment, the Goa'uld don't care what we're up to. We're no immediate threat. If it gets out we've suddenly advanced to this level of technology, we wouldn't be able to build this defense system fast enough.
You think the Tok'ra would betray us?
Maybe not intentionally, but they've had problems with Goa'uld spies before. I don't think it's worth the risk, not when we can do this without them.
I'll take that into consideration. What about the boy?
He's
He doesn't have to remember
anti-Tok'ra.
anything now. He's given me all the knowledge we need.
How he did that is what concerns me.
He's no danger, sir.
Still, as long as he's here, he should be kept under close guard. I'll talk to the Pentagon about bringing in some more personnel to help you out.
Mm-hmm. You know, we've seen entire repositories of knowledge get downloaded into somebody's brain in an instant. Like,
Yeah, Jack got super smart.
Teal'c,
I was unable to complete my Kilnorine. What is of such importance that I should be summoned here immediately?
Yeah. On your knees, Jaffa.
What does this mean?
I believe the closest translation would be subatomic energy particles.
That's what I thought. Thank you. That's it. You can go back to whatever you were doing.
Dismiss, Jaffa. Say it.
He interrupted his Kelnorine for that. If you woke me up out of bed at 2 o'clock in the morning to have me come do that,
right,
you and I are going to have problems.
Mm-hmm.
You can wait.
Bottom line is it's going to require the resources of the entire SGC to focus on the retrieval of raw naquita for the time being.
Hey, what's going on? What are you doing?
I know exactly how this works now, but you need naquita in your blood or you can't make it do anything.
Have you considered that maybe that's a good thing?
Something on your mind?
Your behavior, as a matter of fact.
What about it?
Well, for starters, who gave you the authority to give orders around here?
Actually, the Pentagon.
There's that.
Look, maybe I haven't exactly been patient lately, but I'm just doing what has to be done. I have the knowledge. I have to make sure it gets used properly. I'm finally taking your position. Let's build weapons. Let's kick some Goa'uld ass.
I feel like that ADR loop
because it's me saying
didn't
it,
quite
I'm
get
suddenly
it.
a bad guy.
Where's Teal'c?
It's getting a lot more real time.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a mission.
And he's wishing.
The one I sent him on.
Someone could
So,
cure
Jeff,
it.
I want to point something out that I'm seeing as a 47th time viewer kind of for the first time.
Okay. Since
there's not going to be a Stargate for the second time.
Yeah, no.
You may come back and rewatch the series on your own, but we're not going to do this together.
Mm-mm.
But I am seeing something incredibly interesting here because I know where it goes. But even right here in this spot. So Shifu said, and this is why I really wanted to write it down, the true nature of a man is decided between the battle of his conscious mind,
which is his
the
right here,
desires of the subconscious.
Yeah, that's what he sees, right?
And we're literally seeing so there's this subconscious desire to just blast Jack out of the room, but this isn't what we do in reality.
Uh-huh.
And that's where the true nature lies. And this is something we're seeing. And Shifu told us, this is what this is going to be about, So I'm
brilliant.
I've never thought about that line and analyzed it through what's happening here, because very clearly he's got Goa'uld jacking up his brain right now.
Totally. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Teal'c said, if he remembers all of this kind of stuff, that's why the Goa'uld are born evil.
Yeah. It's all spelled out.
Because they have these just continued desires just pumped into them all the time. And Daniel said, if we give this to the kid, it's going to mess him up mentally and emotionally. And Daniel's getting all of this stuff.
Right? It's cool in the story itself, but I'm fixated on the storytelling mechanic.
Yeah.
Of all of this. It's so subtle. I mean, you've seen it 47 times and didn't pick up on it. So it's just super subtle. Don't pick up on it. But as soon as you do, it's just it's the rule of broadcasting, right? Say what you're going to do the thing, and then tell everyone what you did. So they told us what they're going to do. Now we're seeing it. And then at some point they're going to explain the whole thing. It just lays it out in this beautiful, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those pieces.
I want to point that out, since now you're here and we're doing this in podcast form, for you to be able to see this and appreciate this on this level as you're going through, as you're discovering the story as it goes through for the very first time.
He's inserting himself into these memories now.
Well, that wasn't a memory. I think that was a subconscious desire.
Oh, really?
I would love to just zap Apophis and 1 year. Did you catch this is 1 year later?
Oh, I did not catch that. Okay.
Yeah, we had a little time jump here.
Good morning, Dr. Jackson. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs is already waiting for your 0900 briefing.
Daniel!
I'm sorry, Dr. Jackson. She insisted.
It's okay.
Dude, that dude had a gun pointed at her head.
Yeah.
Straight away.
I think you're going to get away with this.
What are you talking about, Sam?
What you're doing, what you've got planned. That's why you had me removed from the project. You knew I'd figure it out eventually.
I relieved you of your responsibilities because you were starting to crack under the pressure. You seem to have lost all perspective. Quite frankly, I think your jealousy finally got the best of you.
Jealousy? I'll tell you why it's hard to maintain perspective, Daniel. Strategic division of labor, all in an effort to keep anyone from seeing the big picture.
What exactly do you think you figured out, Sam?
Well, you know damn well what I'm talking about.
Can't be a coincidence you showed up here the day of the launch.
Launch. Is that today?
Yeah, that's supposed to be top secret. You want to stay and watch?
Got a big screen?
Better than that.
Come here.
No, come here. Like, here. There is there, here is here. Come here.
See.
Because I got a ring device set up right here.
What?
We're going to the launch. Ah, yeah!
You're great, Jeff. Jack's like, all right, I've done this 1,000 times before, dude.
Elevators are such a pain in the ass.
Tertiary systems are online.
I'm glad you're here, Jack. What happened to Teal'c? I thought I'd never see you again.
Oh, ancient history. Besides, I don't want to miss watching you save the world.
Yeah. Actually, Sam thinks I'm trying to take it over.
Oh, how arch. Yeah. 5, 4.
They're getting ready to launch this big satellite system to protect Earth.
1.
This is where President Clark issues his scorched Earth thing in a couple hundred years.
Yeah, this is the seed that's planted.
Yeah.
This will destroy the planet.
This is the system that President Clark uses later, thus proving Babylon 5 and Stargate are in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
Switching to disbursement tracking system.
I like how they give us these nice little graphics to help us understand.
Mm-hmm. I'm just asking myself how they reset this time. Like, is this all a manifestation of Daniel's trip that he's on? Is this something Shifu has set up for us?
I'm Amy Jensen, live on Capitol Hill. The president has postponed his public address amid speculation an international crisis is developing over the top secret launch of what is being called a new cutting-edge satellite communications network.
Was Davis a little prescient on this whole thing?
Is forthcoming.
Dude, that's such an evil, just like...
The Russians have gone on high alert. Chinese are following suit. The Russians are repositioning one of their anti-satellite weapons. Looks like they're going to try and take out one of our AG-3s.
And my advice to the president would be we have to demonstrate what we're capable of.
I have suggested that to him already, and the president agrees.
Receiving authorization to target Russian satellite.
At what point do you just turn it on the city? Turn it on Moscow.
We have target lock.
Moscow.
System is firing.
There's your act of aggression. What you got?
Target has been eliminated.
Don't target Moscow. Just like some unknown location out in the middle of nowhere.
Everyone here is quite impressed.
Let's hope the Russians are as well.
I'm recommending we take out their launch site.
Well, this is all leading to a full-scale nuclear attack, though, isn't it?
Unless we comply with their demands, yes. That would be a high probability.
Take out the nukes.
Couldn't we just nip this in the bud?
Given our new ability to defend ourselves, we don't see the need to jump the gun. The president is currently rethinking our position on unilateral control of the system.
I see.
I'll take unilateral control.
Oh, look at that.
Dr. Jackson,
who would have known?
As I suspected, the president is obviously failing to overcome a lack of necessary leadership abilities. So I'm going to have to step in and prevent a global nuclear war.
You're not supposed to be able to do this. You can't do this.
I've already done this. Bunker is well protected. Don't even think about sending a cruise missile our way.
Dr. Jackson!
Oh, but the rest
I feel like
I've had enough of that guy.
This is Shifu. That was Shifu testing him, and we're watching the
Daniel,
test.
What are you doing?
That's my guess now.
Proportional response.
So is he passing or failing the test?
We have a distinct advantage here. The problem is the other side just doesn't realize how wide the gap is. They really need is a visual aid.
AG system targeting Moscow.
And he'll be like, this is why I won't let you unlock my memories.
Don't worry. There's no threat of residual radiation spreading as quick and clean. It's like cutting your enemy's heart out with a scalpel.
So much just happened right there.
It was a little strange you got through security with a loaded gun.
A little.
Also, I am Jack O'Neill, so...
You never were that bright.
Damn.
That's where he fails the test, right there.
Right.
He's shortcutting President Clark like 200 years here.
Daniel, think about one thing before you do this. We never proved that kid was a Harsisus.
What are you talking about?
Everything he put in your head. The Goa'uld have used mind control before.
You think this is some elaborate Goa'uld plot to get me to destroy the world?
We've seen him use kids, too.
It would work. It is working.
Use Shifu to put a bunch of stuff in my head. in order to get me to build the weapons only to eventually turn them on Earth.
It's possible.
There's only one flaw in that theory. You're assuming this is not what I wanted all along.
Oh.
Don't.
Is that subconscious desire that he wanted all along?
Come on a little bit. There it is.
System is firing.
I never really loved you. That's Excalibur big gun level right there.
That's Big Wick level right there. Big Wick energy.
Target.
He's got that BWE, man.
BWE.
That needs to be a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Stargate SG-1, Big Wick energy.
BWE.
Still nothing?
No. There's nothing physically wrong with them, or at least nothing I can find.
We've seen this episode before.
He may not be the Harsisus at all.
Are you saying this could be some sort of Goa'uld trick?
As we have seen, General Hammond, the Goa'uld are not above using human children as weapons.
Well, all Shifu would say is that he is teaching Daniel.
So, what do we do?
Kill the kid.
As you know, the Zaytark detector's original purpose was to detect deception.
Basically a lie detector test.
Yeah.
No harm would come to him.
And what? Just hope he doesn't explode in the meantime?
Hope he really is who he says he is.
And maybe help Dr. Jackson?
It's just a precaution. I had this done to me once, and I had to wear them too.
The mind is always free.
You possess the genetic knowledge passed on to you by Apophis.
Yes.
What did you do to Daniel?
Dreams sometimes teach. I'm teaching him
Oh, Sam. Well done.
that the true nature of a man is determined in the battle between his conscious mind and his subconscious.
Here's what we're going to do. Here's the thing.
My
Tell you what I'm going to do.
It's too strong to resist.
Jeff, I love that you pointed that out. You gave the entire structure of the whole show,
whole thing,
in this broadcasting analogy that you just used. So I also want to hear what he just said here, because he's like, we're going to tell you, and then we're going to show you, and then we're going to tell you again.
Yep.
Like, that's literally what happens in this episode.
And it's perfect. It's such a great storytelling mechanism.
The evil in my subconscious is too strong to root.
You cannot bring this stuff out
in me.
Is to deny it battle.
To not even give it a place.
Exactly. No space
not even,
at all.
As Oma teaches.
Which is basically, no, you're not going to bring these memories back out in my mind.
He woke up a few minutes ago.
Wait a minute. If he really is Harsisus,
he is.
We can still extract some very valuable information from him.
No, you can't.
And again, you're treating him like a book.
I don't understand.
I know.
And Daniel's the only one who really does.
Thank you for telling me of my mother.
She would have been very proud of you.
Of you as well.
This whole episode was, I just want to find out about my mom.
Right?
No, we can't do that, but I just came to find out about my mom.
All roads eventually lead to the great path.
Eventually.
Many cross on the way.
That is pretty deep right there. I almost wish you would have called it the Golden Path, though. It's a Dune thing.
We're not just going to let him leave.
I don't think we have a choice.
Yeah, you do not. Because the mind is always free.
This isn't even like a teleport. Like, this is, I'm going to energy. I
don't need an encounter suit. I'm beyond encounter suit Vorlon.
I don't need the Stargate.
Right.
Well, actually, maybe I do need the Stargate. I can do whatever
General,
I want.
highly recommend you order all personnel to stand down and get the heck out of the way.
Are you sure, Colonel?
The alternative
Yeah.
might not be so pretty.
But it's clearly made out of matter, right? Well, no, because it can transport energy as well. So yeah, it could be that. Daniel's got a lot to.
He's got to think about that.
Yeah, there's a lot to process there.
What did he just learn about himself through this experience? You know, like that's pretty nuts. That is pretty nuts.
Before we gate into the rest of this episode, did you know you're missing most of the content from this podcast? Stargate SG-1 for the first time has an active and exciting Patreon that you can join right now by clicking the link in the show notes. Not only will you get access to the full, unedited podcast and reaction videos, you'll also be able to join a growing, vibrant, maybe even an intergalactic community. Subscribers even get access to all of our content from Babylon 5 for the first time. Don't miss out on this content and the amazing people. Just click the link in the show notes. Tilk thinks you should do it right now.
Indeed.
All right, Jeff. Well, you and I have just finished watching this episode, Absolute Power. You for the first time, me for the 47th time, 48th time, whatever it is. Jeff, I have to tell you, I had a very, very different experience of watching this episode on this run than I ever have when I've watched this episode before. I'll talk about that later. But right now, what I want to know, what the listening world out there wants to know, what everybody wants to know. Jeff, take us through your first watch of Absolute Power.
I always love when you have a unique experience. You know what I mean? Like watching it again, because I know you've seen this so many times. And it just, to me, it really validates this whole project that we're doing, you know, in a really cool way. So I just kind of want to say that before diving in. I'm honestly like, when we were transitioning out of the episode into this, I'm like, there's so much to talk about in this episode, and how do I organize my thoughts and share things? And I think I want to say that this might be the best written episode of Stargate to date.
Wow.
Now, I don't necessarily mean like the content and everything in it, but just the mechanics of writing. This is a masterclass. What they did here, Brent, is they took a modern day 10 episode season of modern television that's, you know, one story. They slapped it into 42 minutes or whatever, and beautifully, it just told so many stories. And it was and a thing that was a great storytelling device also that we talked about during the episode is Stargate's ability to have a thing happen and then a season or 9 later bring it back.
Right.
I completely forgot the Harsisus was even a thing.
Right.
Like there was a moment where that was like the biggest thing in the world, and then went off, you know, with
not just the Harsisus, but Oma Dasala.
Yeah.
And this energy being thing, whatever that is, and this weird way that they speak and talk, and
it all just kind of, you know, we moved on and did whatever, because
here it is.
Yeah, here's the thing. But as Shifu says, it's because, you know, we all, you know, all paths lead to the great path, or what I said, it should be the golden path, and many cross that path on the way. What happened here was Harsisus crossed our path, and we kept going for like a season, and then just crossed again in this fully realized way. My first thought was,
by the way, and I'm not going to tell you, but we may or we may not ever come back to this. And that's, you don't know. As a Stargate first time watcher, you have no idea, because you know there are some things that we never come back to, and there are some things that actually become a big thing.
And
I'm not telling you which way this one goes, because it literally could go either way.
And it's brilliant how they set that up. At the end of this, right, he made it so clear, you cannot bring my memories forward. All this genetic knowledge that I have, you can't tap it. You can't get it. And they're like, oh, shucks. But the Tok'ra dude's like, yeah, we need to get that. And so it was just left over. That could have been the end of the story, or pick it right back up again. Either way makes complete sense. But when this first started, I thought we were going to go the route of the episode when we met Oma and the energy beings and everything. Of its fortune cookie speak, the trap that I think so many TV shows and movies fall into. I think most recently, I call it the Minbari effect, where I'm going to say something that sounds very wise, but really means nothing, but it makes you think. I'm very deep and wise. But a lot of the stuff that Shifu said, Master Shifu, as I will call him, was really deep stuff. In fact, here in a little bit, I think we're going to deep dive into some of the stuff that he talked about. The idea of him coming back was great. But here's the thing. So, well, first, partway through this episode, I realized that I'd seen it before. I've seen this episode before, and I realized partway through it's the Nth Degree from Star Trek The Next Generation.
Oh.
So, you know, Barclay gets plugged into stuff. He gets just ridiculously intelligent, and it continues. They even borrowed some of the camera angles that they used. I almost think that it was intentional for us to think back to that.
Yeah.
But Barclay's path was similar to Daniel's in that over time, he just began not valuing the lives around him, because he saw himself as being so much bigger. And that's the genius of this episode. It was a nesting doll of story happening. So Shifu says that the true nature of man is the battle between the conscious mind and the conscious mind and the desires of the subconscious mind. This reminded me, Brent, of a conversation you and I've had a number of times on this program and also on Babylon 5 for the first time. But the idea, you tell the story of your good old boy Kentucky upbringing still being in your head, and you may observe a thing, whatever, and it says, oh, that just ain't right. That's whatever.
Yep.
But then it comes through all the filters and you're like, it's fine. I'm not going to say that thing. I'm going to come and see this very differently. This demonstrated that, right? And it did it on multiple layers. So Shifu says that, and then we realize, partway through, you realized and shared that that's what we were seeing. We were watching Daniel in these situations have a subconscious thought and fight it. But there was a whole other layer. The nesting doll went deeper in that the dream itself that he was experiencing was a battle between his conscious and subconscious mind, the whole thing. I mean, just so brilliant how they put it together. But because he gained just all this genetic knowledge and immediately knew everything, and we watched him degrade over time. He started picking up just a little hint of arrogance here and there. He became anti-Tok'ra real fast, and you could just start seeing in that arrogance just, kind of kept growing into the hubris that he had at the end. And it tied back to a comment that Teal'c made early on, that because of all those memories, that's why Goa'uld are born evil.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I'm like, I feel like I have to reject that. I can't believe that knowledge equals evil. And so I think that Shifu also represented a missing part of that equation, and that is knowledge without wisdom equals hubris, arrogance, bigotry, hatred, evil, all those things. Shifu, as the Zen presentation that he was in, is that balance. I have the knowledge and I have the wisdom to not let that knowledge out. I'm not ready for it. I can't handle it. If I can't, none of you can. And we saw that tested against Daniel, who didn't have that wisdom. And even though Daniel's a smart guy, and he put it off probably longer than others would have, but eventually even he succumbed and he went full Dr. Evil there at the end. I mean, it was just intense. But this was a brilliant episode. Just as a spoiler for what's coming up in a little while, I am going to have a difficult time in ranking this one. So I'm going to think about that as I listen to you. I know there's a lot and we have more conversation to have, but why don't we dive into the messages in this one? My gosh, Jeff, this is something else. For the record, we have nothing to update on our tracking board. Correct. Almost bad goddess checks. Almost. This one would have been rife with at least a few indeeds and a for crying out loud, easy. Maybe even a Daniel death. Yeah. Like, we teased one at the end. Jack could have actually just shot the dude. Like, he's gone. And then Daniel wakes up. I mean, Jeff, honestly, you said a whole lot of what I just said, and I don't want to rehash this all over again, but it's the two things that Shifu said. And I'll tell you, Jeff, this is typically a skip for me. Really? On my rewatches. Because it's Daniel going crazy and assuming absolute power. Yeah, which we've seen before. But also, it's not fun. This isn't a fun episode. True. By any stretch of the imagination. True. But I got to tell you, I'm coming out of this appreciating this episode so much more times. And I really want to go back and watch it again and again, because I think there are layers of depth to this episode I'm barely beginning to scratch the surface on. Shifu says two things very specifically. The true nature of a man is decided between the battle between his conscious mind and the desires of his subconscious. Now, those are two different things. Right. Yeah. Between my conscious mind and the desires of my subconscious. Not between my conscious and my subconscious. No. Between my conscious, here's what I'm doing, and here are those things. I love that you pulled out that thing where I talk about being raised in a certain way and being raised in a certain society, and I still have these first reactions, these first impulses that I have to capture, and hopefully I'm passing the test.
But there's the second half of what Shifu said. The evil of the subconsciousness is too strong. It's too strong. It will win. This evil will win. It's way too strong. And the only way to win is to deny it battle. Yeah. You can't even give it a place. I'm not even going to entertain it. So we see Daniel doing two things. One, there's the just existence of these subconscious desires. Mm-hmm. First, we see he's talking to Teal'c. He's getting a little rude. And all of a sudden, he just has this flash of, Teal'c should bow down to me. He should just be bowing down to me. There's another part. Jack gets him frustrated, and he just, I just want to blow you across the room. I want a hand wave device. You just piss me off so bad. But we also see Daniel composing himself in his conscious mind and going, no, he pushes that down. But the other side of that is he's entertaining it. Exactly. He is giving it a battle. He is giving it a place. And it says it's too much. He's giving it too much. It's too evil. He's giving it light. Now, now I'm just digging because we're in this thing, but he's giving it light. Shifu means light. And so when you shine a light on those subconscious desires, when Shifu shows up, that's where that tension starts to pop up. There you go. But as you say, we're just watching Jackson's descent. As he entertains those desires more and more, the guard gets let down. I'll tell you something. Yeah, I'll throw it out there. And this is dumb. This is a dumb one, okay? If I'm ever walking by somebody, or have you ever been driving? I mean driving, maybe through a neighborhood, and down the street you spot a neighbor who is searching for something in their car. Yeah. Now, as they're searching for something in their car, they're bent over and their rear end is hanging out. And you know what I want to do every time I see that? I don't care who it is. Clip that bad boy. Who it is? I want to go. No, I'll just go by and slap it. Yeah. Why? Because I'm a 13-year-old kid who thinks that's hilarious. Yeah. That has to. And I'm like, I can't do that. I am a full-grown adult who will go to jail if I do that. No, I'm not going to do that. There are times when I get so mad at people that I'm like, I would just like to just pop you like a zit, but I can't. And I have to rein that in. It's the difference between my conscious mind and my subconscious mind. To put it in Kentucky parlance, bless your heart. I'm picking up on stuff. That's not as much of a good thing to say as you might think it is. Anyway. That's exactly what I'm saying. I know. But the evil of your conscious mind is so strong because it subverts. Man, and you called it out. There's we're going to tell you what it is, then we're going to show it to you, and then we're going to tell you what we just showed you. Yeah, it's so brilliant. And that's literally what happened. Shifu says the words, we see the story with Daniel play out, and Shifu says the words again. And his whole point is, to what you said, can you bring these memories back up? No, because I can't handle it. I can't handle it. This is me denying it battle. I will go bad if you bring these messages forward. It's not okay. You're not just going to make me forget again. It's not going to happen. I have one thought and one question. One, how does this experience change Daniel? Having gone forward, how is Daniel now different? As a character, as a human, as a man, how is he different? I have to believe, I have to desire, I have to hope that change is really understanding what we talked about a little bit earlier. It's knowledge and wisdom. We can't just go out to these other planets and gather knowledge. That's not enough. We need everything, and we need to balance it to balance against the Mayburns of the world. It's not just go out and get things at all costs, because there's a natural progression to that. And so he should become a very vocal advocate for stopping that. Think about what Daniel said. Hey, the Goa'uld are coming. We've got to be able to defend the planet. That's a good thing. Yeah. Right. He goes through, he's like, no, we can't invite the Russians. And I know we have this agreement, but we can't do that because this is going to politicize it and it's not going to let us happen. No, we cannot wait 2 years to get this done. We have to deploy this in a year. No, we cannot, no, you're not going to do what you need to do. So I'm going to build a backdoor so I can take control of this if I absolutely have to. Listen, we keep going back and forth like this. This is going to spin out of control into a big nuclear war. I can end this right now with a push of a button just by taking out Moscow. That's it. One little thing. and prevent nuclear war and how many people from dying. Like, those are good things to prevent nuclear war and how many people from dying.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like, it's a good thing to streamline stuff and get it deployed when we need it to actually be deployed. It's a good thing to but the bad stuff you have to do to get there and what that causes you to do, to gives you absolute power. Obviously, Jeff, this goes back to that old quote of absolute power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Mm-hmm. Right. That's what this is a reference to. So how does this change Daniel? It'll be interesting to mark Daniel going forward out of this. You know, the other thing is this. And Jeff, you know, our litmus test here, is it a mirror to society? Does it give us hope for a better future? Does it teach us how to be better to one another? If I may add another one, at least for this episode, how do we be better to ourselves?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Here's the thing. And here's the question I want to ask you, because I think this is the message that chocks full this whole thing, because this is getting 7 chevrons. I'm going to tell you right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because that's what this whole episode is. This is a full 7 chevrons. Do you know yourself well enough to know that you're not strong enough to handle something? So you can't even get in the way of it. Listen, an addict. I'm going to pick an alcoholic because it's the easiest one to do. Okay. A person who is an alcoholic for the rest of their life. Mm-hmm. They're either in recovery or they're in the midst of their addiction. It's one of the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As an alcoholic, the vast majority of alcoholics, and there's a piece of me that wants to say all, but I can't be so ubiquitous as to say all, because I don't know all. For the most part, an alcoholic can never go back into a bar again.
Many
it
of
is
them.
Bad news for an alcoholic to drop into a bar, especially one who's been, or even one who has been sober for so many years.
Right. It's all about
now, there's a lot of
the triggers. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And it's just not smart. All right. Now I can hear a lot of people, well, but my uncle's been sober for 11 years and he can go into a bar and he does this, or, you know, this person does this and they turn it into a ministry type of thing. And, you know, they're free from it. And listen, more power to you. That's amazing. It's still probably not a great idea.
Right.
You know what I mean? Do you know your own weaknesses? I know mine. There are certain things I will not do. Why? Because I ain't trying to get divorced. Because I like my wife and I ain't trying to screw that up. You know what I mean? And I know my own weaknesses. You know, like, don't take that too far, guys. You're letting your minds wander. No. Listen,
it's not nearly what you're thinking. It's
really not. It's really not. But there are certain things that I know that I can't do. There are certain foods I cannot have in my house.
Agreed. Yep.
Because I will make the wrong choice every single time. You know what I mean? What are those other choices? There are certain people I don't need to be around. There are certain things I don't need to have in my life and put in front of my face. Why? Because the evil of the subconscious is too strong, and the only way to win is to not. I'm not even going to give it a space. It's not even going to have a space in my life. I'll tell you something, and here's a thing for me. All right. I talk about addiction a lot. I talk about alcoholics. I'm not an alcoholic. I never have been one. All right. You want to know why I'm not an alcoholic? It's very on purpose, because I have a strong family history of alcoholics. Mm. What I know, and that can run in the family.
Yep.
And I realized this at a very early age. And I just said, if I stay away from that, it's never going to be an issue for me. Very, very rarely do I ever have a drink. Now, I'm not a teetotaler. I'm not whatever. But I generally don't have alcohol in the house. You know, and I grew up in a household where we just didn't have alcohol. So it made it easy for me. You know, but I generally don't have alcohol in the house. I don't go out and pay for alcohol. I do it it's a very, very social thing for me. And it's very limited.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I know my family history when it comes to addiction, and I don't need to go down that road. It's why I don't go gamble. I don't go to Vegas and stuff a whole lot, because same thing. That's my example for me. So 7 chevrons all the way through, Jeff. It's not even a question to me. Know yourself, know the things that you have to deny at battle, and understanding. Here's the hope, Jeff, I think we can give. The evil subconscious is there. It exists.
Right.
Let's acknowledge
a real thing. Mm-hmm.
Let's just acknowledge it. It is there. The true nature of a man, of a person, of a woman is decided in the battle between the right and this thing here. Choose the right. Or are you going to let this thing be the bad thing? that comes out. And that's going to determine, are you a good person or a bad person? That's the thing that determines it.
Yeah, or at a minimum, because the strength of your character, right? It's what you do.
Exactly. It's the what you do. It's the do you filter it or do you not? So anyway, that's my 7 chevrons, Jeff, on the messages.
Yeah, I agree. I want to acknowledge, though, also, it's a very easy thing to say to deny that battle. It is infinitely hard and difficult and forever, like that will denying it battle is the battle itself. So I don't want anyone to hear what you said and think, well, he's just saying, just don't think about it. No, that's not what you're saying at all. This is hard. And that's why your character, our character, my character is really determined by how we show up for that stuff.
Absolutely. You know what I love about you, Jeff?
What's that?
Is I can say it. Sometimes I feel like I'm just sitting here pontificating about stuff, but I'm having to come up with it off the cuff like that. I don't think about this because I'm in the middle of this. The things that I forget to say, you pick up for me, and you're 100% right on everything you just said. I appreciate that.
We're a team, man. That's what we do.
Well, Jeff, I rate the episode. I gave it 7 chevrons today. Rating is different from ranking, though. You, my friend, get to rank this episode in the 100% completely accurate and definitive ranking of Season 4 of Stargate SG-1. This is not necessarily how good the message was or how much of an impact it had. A lot of this just has to do with your enjoyment of an episode. A lot of it has to do with how it makes you feel or whatever. Jeff, our current ranking, I'm going to say the top 5 current ranking Season 4 so far. I'm going to start with number 5 as the episode Upgrades. It's where we got the big, strong arm bracelets. Serpent's Venom, Small Victories. That's where we had the replicators at the beginning of the season. 2010, that was our episode from last week. And Window of Opportunity, fan favorite, potentially best episode of the entire series, some would say. Not necessarily everybody. Jeff, where do you, my friend, place this episode, Absolute Power, in your ranking anywhere, 1 through 17?
I told you a while ago that I'm really going to struggle with this, and I am, and I have been, but I'm in a spot, and I'm just going to talk myself through really quick my thinking, and that you said this is a skip for you historically.
Mm-hmm. It won't be anymore. I won't be anymore. I promise.
Yeah, I was going to say I can see it being a skip in that this is not an episode to throw on in the background. This isn't an episode to watch, casually. This is a sit and watch sort of an episode. That's not a bad thing. It's just a thing, right? Mm-hmm. And that doesn't make it not enjoyable. It just makes it big. But I'm really is stuck the word that I want to use. I don't know if stuck is the word that I want to use here, but I'm very focused on the brilliance of how this episode was constructed. Like, we watched counting 123 episodes of Babylon 5 and spin-off stuff, and then get the movies in. We're close to 130. One of the greatest television writers of all time, right? And J. Michael Straczynski. Mm-hmm. I throw this right up there. So it's just so incredibly done. Brent, after really thinking this through, and I think,
Jeff, if I may on that, I'm going to give you a little more extra time to think about it because I want you to put it in the right spot. One of the universally, I don't want to say hated, but most disliked episodes in all of Babylon 5. Some people, we heard multiple people say it's the worst episode of the whole series, is an episode called TKO.
Yep.
And you and I found so much gold in that episode, not necessarily because of how it was produced or the production, because of what it did, how it was written. Mm-hmm. And what it did. It literally became your favorite episode of season 1.
Yeah, for real.
And potentially, maybe not the whole series. Definitely not the whole series. No. But it's one of your top episodes of the whole series.
Totally.
It's because brilliant. Of what it made. I think it's a great episode. I'm not quite with you on that, but I do think it is a much more terrific episode than worst episode of the series. I'll watch it every single time it comes on.
Yeah. It's one of the only episodes I've gone back to watch just for fun.
Yeah, what a fun episode.
It is a fun episode. Yeah, it's super
what you got?
good.
Where are you placing this one, Jeff?
Yeah,
it's Brent, the moment decision.
It is. This is going to usurp the Serpent's Venom spot. This is going to be our new number 4 episode.
Good. It's not too high.
Right.
But it's much higher than I ever would have put it prior to coming into this episode, and I think that's a great spot for it, Jeff.
I can definitely see that. That makes sense. But yeah, it feels really good right there. Probably won't end in the top 5, but it's going to be up close, most likely.
That is an episode that is as high as it is for different reasons, then the other episodes around it are as high as they are.
100%. Very different.
You know what I mean when I say that? Like, it's almost unfair to put it in this category because you're judging it on different criteria altogether, you know? So anyway, well, Jeff, that's going to do it for us this week on Absolute Power. We're putting a bow on this episode. We are moving on next week, Jeff. Next week. I promise you, this is still not a Star Trek podcast. We're watching an episode called The Light. Jeff, would you care to venture a guess as to what The Light, as in the light, just The Light, what could this episode be?
I was going to say, are we missing a word in between the and light? Oh my God, you know what this is going to be?
What's that?
This is going to be another Shifu means the light. This is going to be a Harsisus episode. We're going to see immediately some of the changes in Daniel and how Shifu has. I don't think that necessarily that actor is going to, like, we're going to see the Harsisus, but this is going to be an direct follow up to what we just watched and watching Daniel's kind of growth and change.
I like that as a guess because the show said that Shifu means light. However, and I would love anybody out there who speaks Chinese, please correct me. And I don't know which version of Chinese. I know there's Mandarin and Cantonese and whatever. Please let me know if I'm right on this. I'm almost positive, Jeff, the word Shifu doesn't actually mean light, that it means like master. It's like an honorific, like it's a master.
Really? Yeah.
Like, well, master teacher kind of a thing.
So Master Shifu in Kung Fu Panda is Master.
Is Master. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
That's on brand, though. That works.
Yeah. Right. But I'm almost sure, please, somebody correct me out there if I'm wrong. I would appreciate that. Pretty sure. But the show said that it means light, so within their world, it means light. And I like that as an answer. I'm not telling you if it's right or not. I'll just say, Jeff, you, my friend, are a good guesser.
Sure.
And with that, that is going to completely do it for us here on Stargate SG-1 for the first time. Thank you guys out there so much for joining us. Hey, don't forget, while you're here, like a video or like the episode that you're listening to on the audio side. Subscribe wherever you get your YouTubes, your podcast, your audiobooks, your whatever it is. Subscribe to us there. And if at all possible, please, please, please leave us a rating and a review. And most importantly, the number one thing you can do to help this show grow is share this show with somebody that you know that loves Stargate SG-1, or somebody who, like my friend Jeff over there, needs to get into the gate for the very first time. So with that, until next time, my name's Brent. That's Jeff. We're going to get out of here for the day. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Yeah, Jeff, what's up, buddy?
How goes your battle?
Mine? I'm denying my battle. We talked about that.
That, my friend, is where the true battle is.
Indeed.
Also, it's always best to have that big, long wick. BWE, baby.